Hello, I'm Charles Blair. I want to make a few comments about fraud and fraudulent coding in the dental office. We do see fraud. Fraud means that there is intent, but the problem is you can be nailed just the way in which you are coding without necessarily intent. And so we've seen some cases out here that are very, very disturbing. Let me just cover with you just a couple areas of fraudulent practices that I see. One of the most blatant is when the front business staff date a pan on one date and the bite wings on a different date in order to get better coverage. You see, many insurance companies convert the pan and bite wings, if it's done on the same day, into a full series. Well, miscoding, misdating, particularly misdating, is a fraudulent practice. So if you're doing that, you need to really stop that immediately. The next thing is about discounting. Discounting is legal. If a patient comes in, they're your neighbor, you want to give them a 30% discount, you certainly can. There's absolutely nothing stopping you from giving a 30% discount to your neighbor. However, if your neighbor has a claims form, an insurance claims form, what goes on the claims form? Let's say it's $1,000 of work. The neighbor pays $700. What goes on the claims form, $700 or $1,000? Well, what did the neighbor pay? They paid $700. So the fee was actually $700, not the $1,000, so you need to charge on the claims form $700. It would be fraudulent to misrepresent and say that the patient paid $1,000 when they did not. Fee forgiveness is illegal in every state, the routine fee forgiveness. What we mean by fee forgiveness is the patient comes in and the doctor says, "I'll just take the insurance." You cannot do that. When you look at your PPO contracts, if you are a member of a PPO, it will prohibit, most of the time it prohibits any type of fee forgiveness. So reread your contract. Most dentists never read the contract. Also, with the fee forgiveness, can you do it on a limited basis? Yes, from time to time. If you do not participate in a plan, in a given plan, you could do that, but you must let the insurance company know it. How do we do that? We put on the claims form that the patient is not going to participate in the cost of care. So we're telling the insurance, look, this patient is not paying their part. So fee forgiveness should be very, very infrequent. Now here's another one that's just blatant fraud. A doctor offers a special, $49 special. Come in and we'll do the exam on you. We'll do the x-rays on you. It's a $49 special. And then the office bills out the insurance company at the full fees and lets the insurance company pay whatever the full fees are, and then gets nothing from the patient as far as the patient's part. Again, absolute fraud. And so stop these. These are 3 examples of fraudulent practices. Now, can dentists go to jail over something like this? Well, there's a dentist out that you need to hear if he's in your area. He is Dr. Roy Shelburne. Dr. Shelburne actually went to jail for 2 years. They tried to get him on racketeering, one item and another. And in our Insurance Solutions newsletter, we did write a special article on that. If you call our hotline, we can get you a copy of Dr. Shelburne's written article. So fraudulent practices is very real. The average dentist, average staff think that, well, I just can't be touched. Lightning is not going to strike on me. But I can tell you it can be a disaster. And particularly we see with those doctors that are in Medicaid, there are very, very strong penalties and so forth. And unfortunately what we see with the authorities now is the Justice Department is very limited in the cases they can bring to trial. They do have limited resources. And so the problem is, if you're under the spotlight, they're not after restitution. They're not after money being paid back. They're after jail time because they want to make an example. They only have limited resources. They're going to prosecute just a few dentists, but when they do, you're going to see, if it's a guilty plea, you're going to see almost 100% jail from those situations. So this is very serious, and I hope the viewers here will take very seriously when they start discounting fees, they start doing fee forgiveness, start playing games and so forth, that this is truly serious business.